Sis, and welcome to Learn From Me, Sis. I'm Christina Jade, and this is my space where I tell the truth about all things healing, motherhood, heartbreak, and rebuilding a life that I'm truly proud of. And if you ever felt like you're carrying the weight all alone, then this podcast is definitely for you. Sorry guys, this is very nerve-wracking, okay? Because the story isn't just about me moving. This was, I think, the very first time in my life that I felt very unsure on what decision to make. And usually I would still think about my choice. However, it was, I just don't understand. I still don't understand why this decision is so difficult for me to get my mind around. So, like I said, we're going to start at the beginning. I was living in Middleburg, Florida, and it was 3 of 4 of my kids. At the time, my oldest daughter was living with her grandmother. It was my oldest son and my 2 younger children. And those 2 younger children of mine, they were demon children. They were legitimate demon children. They still are. The zip code doesn't change the fact that they are demon children. I digress. So, man, I got ADHD, so I'm gonna be moving all around in this bitch. I'm very sorry. I'm really working on trying to not touch my face while I'm recording, but it's a very bad habit. Maybe I need to have something in my hand so I don't know. But before I decided to move to Arizona wasn't even a thought in my mind. I'm dealing with me losing my grandmother. I'm living in Middleburg. I'm dealing with my son's mental health. I'm dealing with my younger son's mental health. I'm dealing with my mental health that is just dwindling by the minute, okay? It was not a good scene. My job was a problem. I am an ICU nurse. At that time I was working at Memorial Hospital. But I learned a lot. I loved it. I still love being a nurse. I really wanted to be exposed to more. So I was really trying to get on the path of becoming a relief rapid nurse. So that means if there's a code on the floor, I would be the one going to doing the assessment, helping out the doctor, and probably transitioning them to the ICU. I would go to traumas, which is I know I'm beaming, and your trauma, I don't get a high from. I don't. That's not what my beam is about. My beam is about the medical aspect of and you know what? Wouldn't you rather somebody who's enthusiastic about fixing you to be on your side? I would. If you get geeked out because you get to see my insides, and you are able to put my insides back into my body, please geek away and help me, okay? That's me, okay? I realized around the time that happened that I needed a change. It was always in the back of my mind of me wanting to get out of Florida. Always. However, it wasn't until around that period that I was really adamant, okay, we got to figure this thing out, baby girl, because this is not the seat for us anymore. And, with going back to my job, I was on my birthday vacation this time last year, and I got suspended putting restraints on the patient and not documenting that the patient had restraints. I'm the type of person that thinks they know it all. I am. Because I do a lot of studying to know it all. I do a lot of research from different avenues all the freaking time. So, I'm just saying, if I can drill a needle into your leg and you're not like you're not moving at all, I don't think I need to put restraints on you. And if I'm not putting restraints on you, that's less time that I have to spend charting restraints on you. Like, this person unfortunately was no longer there, so I was suspended. Of course, it was unfounded. It was unfounded. Duh, because I would never do that. Like, it's not, like, charting, I know a lot of people hate charting. Charting has never really bothered me. It really never does. It never really has. Sometimes it's fun to see how quick I can chart. Like, I'll keep it until the last minute, and then I'll make it spicy for me to see how quickly I can get it done, you know, shit like this. So again, didn't really matter to me about the charting. I went back to work. It was just weird. Like, the vibes were weird. There was another situation that they were supposedly going to suspend me for because this patient refused to do his assessment, like answer my questions. I answered as many as I could, documented that he refused, and they were still trying to suspend me. However, the crazy thing about that one is that I was coming back that night. So it wasn't a full 24 hours that the documentation wasn't done. But you know what? At the end of the day, I advocate strongly. And if you tell me one thing, I expect you to follow through. When you don't follow through, I'm not going to just go in the background and be all like shy and timid. No, I'm going to speak up about it because that's bullshit. That's not okay. Don't gaslight me. And so work no longer became my refuge. It's like I clock in and I put on that costume and I take off mom's costume and I put it back there. And when it's time for me to clock out, I put on mom costume and my work costume's off. And that's just how I've always been able to like function. It's a gift and a curse. So around the time in February that they were trying to play these games with me, I was like, I need an exit strategy. I need to get out of this job. So I got a job at Mayo. Mayo looked great on paper. It does. I got a job in the transplant unit. I had an opportunity. First, I got hired for part-time, but then I quickly got a full-time position. So that was fine. However, the money sucked. The money sucked. Which is why life was even more difficult, because I ended up leaving Memorial because of the whole bullshit around like me not doing the assessment supposedly. My big mouth got me in trouble, really what it is, because if I would have just shut up, they would have had to fire me, and then I would have been able to like, oh, okay, run me my money because I didn't do anything wrong. But whatever, everything happens for a reason, right? Everything happens for a reason. Got the job at Mayo, and it wasn't feasible, honestly. It really wasn't, and I didn't know what I was gonna do anymore. What I was making at Memorial did not touch anything that I made at Mayo in my 2-week paycheck. I made a great amount at Memorial, and I was able to pick up shifts all the time. So it was really easy to get what I needed, to be taken care of, like bills and my kids' food and shit. Once I started working at Memorial, that's when I started to be late on my car payment, which I never wanted to even have, but I was blessed enough to be able to get one. So like, I was late on my car payment, I was late on my rent, I was struggling to feed my kids because I handle everything kid related. I probably have owed to me close to $50,000 from their father, who lived in Orange Park. So I lived in Middleburg, he lived in Orange Park. My house was probably like 15 minutes away driving, babe. Yeah, that was another big stressor, because for the life of me, I could not understand like how you get to just live this life while I'm struggling getting into debt. Like I still owe people money. Do you know how draining it is to owe people money? Not like because I would love to be able to pay you, but I have to take care of my fucking children. So it was when I lost Memorial and I got Mayo, working at Mayo and my finances, I was always playing catch up. Always. It was like a Ponzi scheme. I was my own Ponzi scheme because all we were doing is just moving money. Moving it around. Not really getting ahead. Just fucking moving it around. And all the while, this bitch ass of a person is down the street and my kids are fucking struggling because I'm doing the best that I fucking can. Are you kidding me? I have 4 children. I mean, at that point, I had 3 children. But I knew I was going to get my daughter back. I already knew it. So, like, I knew that I would have to move anyway. The lesson here, right now, I was, at that point, just surviving. I was not living my life. I genuinely wasn't. I was a ticking time bomb. And that's the first lesson here. Being burnt out, that's a warning. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a warning. And at that point, I don't even know what is past burnt out, but I was already past burnt out, babe. I was. The moment I knew I had to go, I knew I needed to leave at least my neighborhood when I got Baker acted. It was so embarrassing getting taken out in handcuffs. And you know, at the end of the day, it's really just my preconceived thoughts that I felt like I was going to be judged because obviously in my brain, it's toxic at that point. It is very, very fucking toxic at this point in time. Like, I really needed help, so I would only imagine that people would see me, like, as a fucking lunatic. Because, like, maybe I was. Just a tiny bit. You know, it's important that you put one foot in front of the other. Every day. Be better than who you were yesterday. Yeah, so I ended up getting Baker acted after, you know, probably like 36 hours of bullshit, dealing with like kids, having a horrible counseling session, reaching out, like looking for a lifeline, like please somebody help me. Like that is the thing, like there's so many moments in my life that has been so dark and gloom that yet I'm still actively trying to better my life. Meaning counseling or just like finding resources because I don't want to stay in it. I don't. And again, I have these children that I need to be a fucking role model for. So I really can't just be like in the dumps forever. Eventually I need to snap the fuck out of it because they're watching me. Getting Baker acted was a good, bitch, you gotta get out. You gotta get out. We have to figure this out. You need to do what will make you happy. And after that Baker Act situation, I did end up going to Las Vegas. And when I landed in Vegas and I started like driving around, something took over, like this calling that I needed to come to post jobs in Vegas and learn about their trauma center. Because I mean, first of all, in my head, I'm thinking like there has to be a lot of traumas in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, come on, I'm about to see a lot of fucking shit. Excited. And I don't want to just like fly over the fact that I got Baker acted. And some of the people will be like, what the fuck does Baker Act mean? Baker Act means that you are on a psych hold. There's reasonable evidence that you might be a danger to yourself or a danger to others. Now, to quickly go over this part of my life, I went into work, didn't get any sleep the night before, like during that day, because I'm dealing with my kids. I get out of work, I have to bring my kids to school, come back, have counseling. I'm telling my counselor, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I really don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I think I need to find them a better suitor situation, because I feel all I do is traumatize my children. As I am talking and stressing and basically telling her I want to give up my children. Because really what I'm saying is, help me, I'm burnt out. Please teach me how to take a deep breath or something. Give me something. I can see her scrolling on the computer screen because she's wearing glasses, and the reflection. I'm looking at the reflection, and this happened the last time. I thought this happened the last time because I didn't address it. So I'm just, telling myself these things without actually addressing it. So this time I'm at the point that I'm just like, fuck it, bitch. Like, you're not giving me any type of feedback. You're like, I've had counselors so many times. You're a horrible counselor. And so I'm like, so I'm sorry. I'm over here like really stressed out right now and telling you that I'm like potentially wanting to just say, see you later, kids. And I just can't help to feel like are you shopping right now? Oh, she was like, no, what do you mean? I was like, because like I can see the reflection in your glasses. And she's just like, no, like, I have to take notes during these sessions. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? And then for whatever reason, I remember that, because I turned it on to me. Well, maybe I'm just seeing things, maybe I need to get on some type of medication. You know what? Actually, I used to take Prozac, and I had a light bulb moment because I remember that I used to be on Prozac, and I was off of Prozac for the last 7 years, because at that time I was on Prozac before I had my daughter, my youngest daughter. And I was breastfeeding, and then I had my son, breastfed him. So I had to get off of the Prozac. So that was the positive moment of that whole therapy session, me realizing I needed to go back on my medication. There was a lot of fear and a lot of doubt that I experienced that I've never really experienced before, and making this decision to move. There was a lot of back and forth because of the unknown. Fear and doubt was something I was not normally accustomed to when it came to making decisions to move. Moving was never a problem for me. Yeah, I have kids, but we're going to go. We are going to go on this adventure, and we're going to be just fine. However, I don't know what it was about moving to Arizona that was so difficult to wrap my mind around whether this was a good decision. I knew the amount of money that I would probably have, because June was always the move out date. So I knew what I was going to be able to save up, which was going to be shit. It wasn't going to be anything, actually. And it came to the decision of, do I not pay my rent? Do I try to pay my rent and then I have even less? But do I tell them that I'm moving out? How am I going to break my lease? But then it was like, okay, I stay here. I lose the one person who I can count on to help me with my kids. And then still struggling to pay my rent anyway, because Mayo was not sustaining my lifestyle. And I was not making my kids move to a different school district. I had to stay in Clay County School District because Duval sucks. So my options were limited. So it was really this hand had shit in it, and this hand, the beginning of it would be shit, but it would be more beneficial because here in Arizona, yes, in the beginning it would be extremely rough and I would probably be doing a lot of crying. However, but my job, I would be getting more money as a nurse. And that alone, what I make here in Arizona is so much more than what I made here in Florida. To the point that if I didn't have to do so much shit right now to get out of debt, I would not have to work extra shifts to be able to pay for my lifestyle that I had in Florida. I'm not somebody who lives outside their means. I was homeless as a child. So the one thing that I am never, ever going to jeopardize is my house for my children. So I really feel like that was another thing that I was scared about, is putting my kids in somebody else's hand. Not saying that I didn't have any worries that my bestie was going to like lose her apartment or anything like that. It's just the dynamic of putting myself and my children into somebody else's hand. That is very scary for me. And I've had past situations that make it even more scary for me. Okay. I also dealt with like just insecurities about being judged. I don't want, and you know, the person that I was worried about being judged, fuck them, Christina Jade. Why did you even care? I don't even know. But I was worried about being judged. And, you know, even judgment from my kids, I was worried about. I always want to do what's best for them, and I want them to know, like, I'll always try to provide a great life for them. So I just don't want them to ever think like, oh, look at mom being a little fucking flight risk again. Like, she's just switching it up. I made my final decision to move. I put it all up to the Florida Department of Nursing because I needed to have a compact license in order to work in Arizona. There were 2 different jobs that I could have got that I was going to apply for. It was at Banner University and Honor Health Medical Center. Both of them had sign-on bonuses. Both of them were offering relocation bonuses. So it was really just, I just had to make a decision. So I already knew where I was planning on working. So I needed my compact license. I applied for my compact license originally in December. I did not finish the application until February, because in February, that's when I like knew for sure that I was going to get the fuck out of Florida. Like, either I was going to get out of Florida by moving, or I was going to get out of Florida by doing travel nursing. One or the other. I needed to start applying for jobs by at least March or April, because we're leaving in June, the first week of June. So I left it up to the Board of Nursing. If it was meant for me to go to Arizona, everything would come into alignment. Another thing that I had to do for my license, which I didn't know, which was making the process take a little bit longer, was I need to get my fingerprints done. I got my fingerprints done, and I'm still waiting whether or not I got my compact license. It wasn't until some random day in April that I looked up my license just for fun. And there it was, my approval for my compact license. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I applied for both jobs. I get interviews for both jobs. I get offered a position at both places. I end up going with Banner, where I'm currently at now. So I have the job. Now where am I going to live? I don't have money to have the first and last and security deposit. I don't have that. I'll have it because I have this job and I'm getting this sign-on bonus, I will have it, but currently I don't. So in my head, I initially thought I was going to stay in Airbnb because that's all I needed was like a month. I asked Bestie if she would be okay if I would to stay with her for a little bit until I can get the Airbnb, because I just needed to have like at least a week there and to find an Airbnb where her apartment was going to be. Eventually she said it was fine for us to stay there until we moved in. And that was another great thing. Like, one of the things that we wanted, since we would help each other out, is to be super close to each other. And while we were looking, we found this one apartment complex where we live now. I absolutely hate this place, but it's okay because we're gonna move soon. But anyway, she found this apartment complex and she liked it, and she happened to ask like, hey, do you have like another unit available? Because like she's not looking to move right now, but she would be in like July. And it just so happened that they did. Her apartment is literally, that's my bathroom behind that, and then on the other wall of the bathroom is her apartment. So I mean, we are super fucking close and in lined perfectly. And she helped me like secure my apartment. Like, I paid her back. And her mom, big shout outs to her mom, because she also helped me secure like my shit for the moving truck. So there was a lot of things that was pointing me, Arizona's for you, baby. Oh, and yes, also another person who helped me, who let me borrow money, my dear friend back in Florida, let me borrow money too. So thank you to you, because without these people, I don't know how I would have gotten here today. It was very hard. Like, I was Ubering nonstop all the time. I only had like 2 paychecks coming from mail, which was nothing. And then it was like, okay, when am I going to start working? I was able to extend my move-in date just by like 2 weeks, because like that first paycheck that I got from Banner, I needed to take care of other things. So I couldn't just move with it. But my next paycheck, I was able to. And we're still in the apartment. I mean, I hate it here, like I already said. However, I'm very thankful for this apartment, and this is a great stepping stone to life in Arizona. And you know what? I definitely learned that starting over, it's not cute at first. You know? It's just not. And it's definitely humbling. And you have to be graceful with yourself, because you are doing the best that you can with what you have. Truly. And you know what? Like, moving to Arizona, it wasn't just like a magic wand. It didn't fix everything. I still had to do the work. I'm still doing the work. I love it here. I love driving to work and seeing mountains. There is mountains all around me. I love mountains. I've been slowly hiking. One of my goals, I have my 2026 bingo card here. And one of my goals is to hike, I'm trying to find it, is to hike 20 times. I haven't hiked any times yet. I was supposed to go on a hike today. But that's okay. We got all year long, okay? We're only in February. There's plenty of time. 20 hikes, not a problem. I took care of my car, so now I can drive and not be worried about getting pulled over. So yay me. So hiking, here we come. And you know, I'm still not dating. I want to date. I want to get out there more. I am in the outskirts of Phoenix. So I would like to venture out. Like I said, like I just registered my car, so I haven't really been able to drive legally. So now I'm able to, so I'll see what it's about. Kids transitioned well in school here. My oldest should be coming out here soon, so I'm very excited. I mean, I'm super geeked about the new season of Learn From Me, Sis. I am so excited to share my stories and use this platform to hopefully help one person. If I can give one person a little bit of an encouragement, or I don't know, maybe you're struggling with whether or not you should move and you're a single mom, babe, you can do it. Or you're a single dad, like, men, I want you to watch me too. Like, seriously, I just, that is my intention with this channel, with these episodes. I am so excited to see what is to come with Learn From Me, Sis. Somebody who needs it. And remember, you're not behind, you're becoming. I'll talk to you in the next episode.